the Sand Showbiz podcast, Nigel Clarkson chats with Denise Waterman of Tight Fit.
Okay, on the podcast today, it's Denise Waterman. Hello, Denise.
Hello, how are we?
Fabulous. Are you okay?
I'm very well. Very busy, but very well.
So as well as the record coming out, I mean, you got the album coming out later on this year as well, haven't you? You're going to be like releasing that with a big party, I've heard.
Yes.
So you're busy this week filming, I understand, as well as Tight Fit, aren't you? You're doing something else this week as well.
Well, not just one thing. I did a shoot yesterday because my life is blinking crazy. Every week is different. I have not got time to get bored. The week before last, I was in Bulgaria.
Yeah.
Shooting a film, leading lady nonetheless.
Wow.
Ho ho. It's not supposed to be a comedy, but I can't see anybody watching it and not laughing. And then a few weeks before that, I was on a cruise with my pretend husband going from Budapest to Germany down the river. Pretend husband, I work as a lifestyle model, which means I've got a few pretend husbands that I don't have to do the washing for or the cooking or even be pleasant to unless I want to. And then we pretend we're, romantically engaged, and then we get off the boat and then don't talk to each other till the next job.
You know what? I've been looking for you on the TV recently, and you were on so many adverts at the moment. I like to play the game where we can spot you when you're coming up. You've been really busy, haven't you, since we last spoke?
Yeah, I have been. And also I'm a professional celebrant.
Ooh.
Yeah. So if you're thinking of getting married, having a baby, or dying, I'm your woman. And if you want to do all three, I'll give you a discount. I did a wedding the week before last, and they wanted me to do a fun version of their wedding because they had a very serious morning with a registrar at a hotel. But in the afternoon, they wanted it to be really fun, and they gave me license to do whatever I wanted to. And bearing in mind they'd already had their official wedding in the morning, I gave them a Haribo ring each to do their vows with. Right. And just as they are about to do their vows, I say, has there anyone got any reason to believe these two should not be brought together? And I'd already arranged this, obviously, because they told me to make it fun. And this guy from the back of the room goes, excuse me, yes, I've got something to say. Comes right up to the front where they're standing. And he says, Susie was the lady who was getting married. He says, excuse me, but you gave me these keys when you knew that Min, the husband, was going to be going away from time to time. I don't think I need these keys anymore. You can have them back. And gives her the keys back. Just as he does that, another voice goes, well, you may as well have my keys back too. And then someone else says, and mine, and mine, and mine. Before she knew it, she had 5 guys giving her keys to her house, which was people were laughing. Luckily, they did think it was funny, which was great.
Yeah. Your camera's gone down. I don't know what's happened.
Sorry. What have I done? Is that it?
That's it. That's spot on.
Sorry.
No. I don't want
you just got my chin, did you?
No, you're slowly going down. Oh dear me. So I understand that you and Steve, when it comes to doing all the media about Tight Fit and everything like that, social media and all that, you handle that, is that right?
Well, I think to be fair, his husband does a lot of that as well, because he is he's slightly younger than us, a bit more au fait with it all. But I tend to do, the silly things. If we get together, I might get us doing something. In fact, when we were together last time, which I can't remember, probably a month ago, I can't really remember, we did some TikTok things, but we were laughing so much that I'm not sure we could use any of it because it was just us laughing. I mean, can you believe 40 years later, we definitely can't believe we're doing it all again.
No, it's great.
People asked us 40 years ago, what do you think you'll be doing in 40 years? We would not have been saying this. At the end of the day, we're under no illusion or delusion that we're not all in our 60s now. But if you were to listen to the song or any of the songs and not see us, I defy you to say that's 3 60-year-olds singing.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you'd be any the wiser if you only heard it. It's a bit like, what's that program where they turn around to listen to The Voice? The Voice.
Yeah, The Voice. Yeah.
It's like a radio version of The Voice. How old are these people singing now?
Yeah. No. It sounds right up to date, doesn't it? It sounds a modern song, and the singing's like you say, it's in a modern vein. You can't tell at all. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Who did all the production on that then?
Well, it's been done by, this one's been done by, it wasn't done by Matt Pop, this one. I'm not going to quote who did it because there's been various versions, and Steve is your king of knowing exactly. Larry Pierce has done one, I know that.
Yeah.
Steve is king of who's done which version and when.
Yeah.
Because he's got his ear to the ground. He knows exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
Because a lot of his friends still go out and about and, listen to this kind of music in various different venues.
Yeah.
And I think he keeps in contact with them so that he knows that we're hitting the right spot, hopefully.
Yeah. Outside of Tight Fit then and showbiz, what do you do to chill out?
Well, I actually do the jobs I do because I love them. Crazy thing to say, but I did a funeral recently for it's crazy to say that I enjoy doing funerals, but I do celebrations of life. So it's not a funeral per se where everyone's walking around with a sad face. It really is celebrating someone's life.
Yeah.
So I did a funeral recently for a man who was 67, and let's just say he was very sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Because as a young man, he used to do all the big Ibiza parties.
Oh, right, yeah.
And he also used to run big disco events in London. And at one point in his life, he was running 5 nights a week in Ibiza and 3 nights a week in London.
Wow.
At the same time. So he'd organized all of these parties. Now, it's fair to say that his funeral was definitely different. First of all, he arrived in a white coffin with his face on the side. And on top of the coffin were 3 white top hats, bowler hats, representing each of his children. And as a celebrant, you interviewed the family about the person who's passed away's life. So I'd been talking to his children, I'd been talking to his brother and sister, and I'd been talking to all the DJs in Ibiza and London.
Yeah.
And colourful is probably the best way of saying he ran his life. And at the celebration of his life at the crematorium, over 500 people turned up, all dressed like they were going out for the night. So there was all sorts going on. Cut off tops, glitter, hats, lights. I mean, you name it. It was the craziest event ever. And his after party was a rave at a nightclub in London that started at 6 o'clock at night and went on until 6 o'clock in the morning. With videos of him going on and people just giving it large because everyone knew him back in the day.
Yeah.
When I interviewed his children about him, so I did his brother and sister first, talking about his early life. And his name was Tommy Mac. And he used to be a dancer on Top of the Pops, ironically. When we were doing Top of the Pops, he was on Top of the Pops. Anyway, interviewed his brother and sister, and he used to be a champion, walking champion. Those guys that wear those tiny little shorts?
Yeah.
He was a champion, one of those. So that was his early life. And then I took as I'm doing this story of his life, 45 minutes had to talk about him for. So I wrote this whole story, tried to make it interesting. When it got to him being a dad, I took my glasses off at the crematorium and I said, so what's it like having Tommy Mac as your dad? And then I kind of looked around and said, imagine it, because he was crazy. Yeah. And he would turn up to a football match straight from the nightclub the night before, dressed in the 70s, 80s clothes, as you can imagine, slightly out there, standing at the side of a football pitch, cheering on his son. And, his son used to say, we used to hope he wouldn't come. Because can you imagine, people used to say, Gazza's at the side of the football pitch. Because he used to look very much like Gazza at the time.
Yeah.
And when it got to talking to the DJs, obviously they told me lots of stories. I had to kind of decide on what I was going to share with an audience. But at one point I said something like, So when he was running five nights a week in Ibiza and 3 nights in London, how on earth, where did he get the energy from? As my eyebrows are going up, my eyes are looking around the room. Everyone just started laughing because Tommy was definitely living life to the full.
Yeah. You never have a chill out day then at all, do you not?
Not really. I mean, I like going to karaoke from time to time.
Right.
And some friends of mine, ironically, run Stockcake and Waterman nights. They're called Cheer Up.
Yeah.
And I often they do it at a nightclub in London. I often will pop to that because I love Stockcake and Waterman.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm co-hosting an event in Liverpool, a Stockcake and Waterman event, and Sonia's on it, Sunita's on it, Sybil's on it.
Oh, I love Sybil.
Yeah.
When's that happening?
Let me just check my diary. And I'll tell
check
you
your diary.
Yeah, I should. November the 23rd, and it's a gala event, the Cheer Up gala event.
Excellent. We'll stick that on the website. The music's going to be brilliant, isn't it?
Oh, I mean, we're talking about great music. I mean, Pete had an ear for it, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, people used to say, especially when he got involved with the Reynolds Girls, oh my God, that man can make anybody a star. And it did kind of feel like that, but you know, it was the combination of the three of them that really was the magic.
Yeah, it's brilliant songs.
Absolutely brilliant songs.
I still listen to a lot of them songs, and they're just so good. You know, they are brilliant, stand the test of time. So you're not going to retire then at all, or you're not? You're just going to keep going.
Well, the thing about being a lifestyle model is that you can do it at any age because you're not really a model, you're a real person put into situations. So listen, I'll be doing the care homes when I'm 90, care home shoots. I'll be sat there with my Zimmer frame going, oh, where do you want me?
Yeah, and I'll be sat with my slippers at home watching it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, dear.
They really do need all age groups. In fact, I was looking after my mother for the last 3 years prior to her dying a year and a half ago. And I even got her involved in some shoots. And one of the shoots was me being the daughter putting my mother into a home, and they were filming it. But my mother was actually my mother in the shoot. Only she didn't quite understand it was acting, even though she's got a show business background. When I explained to her, she just said, oh, I'm getting paid and I'm staying in a hotel for the night. Oh, great. I can't wait. And there was a moment where they were filming. My mum was the lead lady in this care home, and they were filming the entertainment staff at the home doing the yoki koki. A bit weird, but anyway, after 2 rounds of the yoki koki, my mum put a hand up. She said, Denise, I've got a bit of a migraine coming. And I thought, you haven't. You're just saying that because you're fed up of doing the yoki koki. I didn't say that. And the director said, oh, it's okay, Madge, you can come out. So I took her back to the dressing room. I said, what are you playing at? She said, well, he couldn't bloody sing. He was singing out of key. It was annoying me. I said, but you're supposed to be acting, Mum. Well, I couldn't stand it anymore, she said. He was awful. Anyway.
Oh, it seems a riot, this life, doesn't it, that you're having? Brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, do you know what? It's definitely not boring. I won't even begin to tell you what I was doing on Monday because I'm not sure what age group your show goes out to.
Everybody goes out to everybody.
All right. Well, it's not that bad. So I was working with my pretend husband, but the product, we're photographs. Nobody's doing anything. It's just photographs that they will intercept the product with. So we're just smiling at each other in the kitchen, or he's in the bathroom and I peeked round and he's at the sink. You know, it's all very innocent. Only the product is called Vaxaid.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Vaxaid?
No, not yet, but I will be doing it, obviously.
Vaxaid is for gentlemen that might need a little bit of help, put it that way.
Oh, right. Yeah, I have heard of it. No, but I don't use it or anything, but I'm just saying I've heard of it.
It's honestly, all of us would just really, I mean, you know, I'm not sure this is the pinnacle of my career. As I say, we were just having photographs looking happy, but I'm not sure how happy we were supposed to be.
Oh, it's hilarious.
And then yesterday I was doing a shoot for a company called Home Med. And what they do is they bring equipment to somebody who might be at home. So on Monday, I was obviously having issues. Oh, no, Friday I was having issues. My husband was having issues and I was smiling my way through that. Monday, I'm with Home Med, and Home Med have come round because I've got a DVT in my leg. I haven't, obviously.
Yeah.
Brought the equipment round to check because I wasn't able to go to the hospital. So, I mean, I wasn't really unable to go, but that was the scene.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow I'm at King's College Hospital with breathing issues.
Sounds like me. I wouldn't have to act.
Oh gosh. So yeah, so it's definitely fun.
What a colourful life you've got.
Boring.
Yeah.
It's not boring.
No, and I'm glad you see the funny side of everything as well. That's the best way to be, isn't it?
Oh God, definitely. Do you know, life is too short. Always look at a glass half full, not half empty, even if you know it is kind of half empty.
Yeah.
You always find, because at the end of the day, if you don't have to have much. If you've got your health, you've got everything. I mean, it sounds like something old people say, but it's so true. Because you can have all the money in the world, but if you've got something seriously wrong with you, all the money in the world's not going to do anything.
No, it isn't.
So while you're able to wake up, get out of bed and walk around, do it with a smile on your face.
Yeah, definitely so. I'm right there with you.
That was part 1 of the chat with Denise Waterman. Don't forget to listen to part 2 soon.